We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down, Bernard. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw. Bernard. And he's taken down here by the Saints. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Incomplete. He finds Brady. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. The numbers for Howard a week ago, 4 catches, 52 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
To throw on third down, Bernard. Flushed out right. And this one is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, No good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. There. His second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bernard. Finds a man with a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Mike 56.
And they'll run it here. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hard throw, incomplete.
My good friend, I'm just going to pose the question to you. Did that look like a pass that he should have thrown?
Now, the rookie probably needs to be a little bit more careful in these situations.
Yeah, that throw will turn him into a veteran quicker, but not in the way that he wants. He wants to learn his lessons by making good throws, not throws like that.
Looking to throw. Bernard. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. On 1st and 10, Bernard. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now they try the right side here. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. On 4th down, Bernard. Has it over the middle. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On second down, it's Jones. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Peyton Barber, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point right down the middle.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready. Waiting.
Breeze now. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And a stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his third and 1. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on third and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Ready. Waiting.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 59 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. They will continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. He got 29 yards that time. throwing on first down. Bernard. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. He'll get it up the middle. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. On 4th down, Bernard. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play caller, they're locked in really well.
Wide open receiver complete. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him for a loss of 5.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They got it. They got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Off the play fake. Bernard. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it's 3rd and 5.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground. Come from the...
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop.
Hey, you know, ladies,
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter, it's a good running back dive play.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Throwing now is Breeze. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the breath.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, Bernard looking left side and he's got a man. It's Howard. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hines. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
And this is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
He's going to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Breeze now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a first and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
Think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Forced out to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. Back to throw. Below. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. A number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan is showing you.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. That's caught. The tight end Hill. 23 yards on the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On first down, Breeze drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. To throw is Breeze. He's going to launch this, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. Thomas, the intended target. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, there's stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open.
And this will be caught at the 30. And at the enemy stretch, ball comes loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do. So the big gain through the air, but of the football.
And you have to like what they did on defense here. They didn't give up on the play. Big yardage given up, but they still battled all the way to the end and helped force a turnover.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Green with a catch left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Breeze to throw on second down. He gets it to Thomas. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
To win any route, you got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check it to a throw the next time.
Here's Breeze. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Levante David. Uses the stiff arm. And a nice stiff arm that opens room to run. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Short throw pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and their eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 21-14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And the stats on his game, they really tell the story. A strong start. I don't know that the defense has really changed a whole lot as opposed to maybe just sticking to that game plan and shutting him down now.
I like where you're going with that because normally we talk about adjustments and drastic changes in a game plan in order to shut someone down. But in this case, maybe they're just sticking with what they worked on all week and they're just making better plays. And so far, they've got to like what they've been doing in the second half.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Well, left side taken in by Meredith. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss. But that window closed quickly. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Wait!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in defense, Mrs. Beamer Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On third down, it's Barber. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. And they'll go ground game here with a tail runner. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have a tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here? Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they work this out past the 25. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock down, but away and bring up 2nd down.
To your left side, Thomas. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
To throw, it's Breeze.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down. It's Barber, and a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Back to throw. He's got Smith here. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. They'll look to throw. Over the middle. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. He's back to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it second down. Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. He'll look to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it. To throw. Throwing incomplete. That's Hill. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Ready.
Back to throw, Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. He'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start backs them up 5, first and 15. To throw is Breeze. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith with time running out. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right. Just one more element to complete the victory. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the fourth quarter now. And it was the Titans who were able to take home the victory. Marcus Mariota, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. First and 10. Bernard. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And now they're going to get the timeout. So a huge play has him in field goal range with a chance to possibly send this one to OT. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. He missed his only attempt earlier. This time he's going for the win. And his kick is right there. It's good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. I guess we can call that a welcome to the NFL moment right there. And he came in with open arms and knocked it through.
Well, how about that? It's almost surely a game winner, right? And, you know, rookie kickers, usually the leash is kind of short, isn't it? I think they went ahead and got that extended model for it now after making that kick.
You